Hey everyone! Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss stories like this one. I never understood how heavy regret could truly feel. Not the kind that brings tears or confessions, but the quieter kind. The kind that sits beneath your ribs, gnawing every time he looks at you like you're still his whole world. I'm Sarah. I was 31 when I made the biggest mistake of my life. I cheated on my husband, Alex. It wasn't planned. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't even worth it. Just one night. A selfish, meaningless moment I can never take back. We'd been married for 6 years, together for almost 9. He was calm, patient. The kind of man who never raised his voice, still opened doors, and always asked how my day went like he genuinely cared about the answer. And that was a problem. He was too dependable, too predictable. I convinced myself I wanted excitement, variety, something that made me feel alive again. That's the lie people tell when they destroy something good. They claim something's missing. But for me, nothing was missing. I was just tired of being loved the right way. It happened on a work trip, in a hotel lounge. Too much wine, too much laughter with a coworker named Chris, a man who knew how to hand out hollow compliments. I remember the warm lighting, the smell of bourbon, and my phone buzzing on the counter. Alex's name glowing on the screen. I turned it over. That single moment haunts me more than the act itself. The next morning, I couldn't even look at myself. I told Alex I'd be home late for meetings. He believed me, of course. He always did. When I finally came home, he hugged me like he'd miss me every second, kissed my forehead, offered to make tea. I smiled, lied again, and said yes. That's when I realized kindness can hurt more than anger. For weeks, I waited for him to notice, to sense something off, the distance, the guilt. But he didn't. He just kept being Alex. The gentler he became, the worse I felt. I started snapping over small things, leaving early for gym classes, staying late at work, pretending to be too tired when he reached for me in bed. Then one night, everything fell apart. I came home and found him sitting at the table, phone beside him, expression calm but unreadable. He didn't look up when I said softly, "Hey!" My heart pounded. Finally, he lifted his eyes. "Sarah," he said quietly, "how much longer were you planning to pretend?" The air vanished from the room. I froze, trying to find words. "What do you mean?" I whispered, though deep down I already knew. He slid his phone toward me. On the screen, a photo, me and Chris in the hotel entrance. My hand on his chest, my head tilted close. Proof that erased every lie. "Alex, He raised a hand. "Don't," he said. "Don't insult me with excuses." His voice was steady, almost gentle, which made it worse than if he'd screamed. His eyes held no fury, just a deep, aching disappointment. "I trusted you enough to believe this could never happen," he murmured. "That's on me." I broke down, reaching for him, but he didn't move. He just sat there, breathing slow and deliberate, as if memorizing the moment he stopped wanting me. When I begged him to talk, he said quietly, "You already did. When you turned off your phone that night, that said everything." He stood, pushed the chair neatly back, and walked out. No yelling, no slammed door, just quiet, final clarity, as if he'd already left long before that night. I slept on the couch, clutching my phone, waiting for a message that never came. The next morning, the silence was heavier than any fight could have been. His shoes were gone. His toothbrush, too. But not everything. On the counter sat his wedding ring and a folded note with my name on it. My hands trembled as I opened it. It read simply, no explanations needed. "You made your choice. Now I'm making mine. I won't beg or fight. Take care. Don't contact me. My lawyer will handle the rest." No anger, no goodbye, just calm, final truth. At first, I thought he was bluffing, that he just needed space. But Alex never used words lightly. And when he said, "Don't reach out," he meant it. My texts went unanswered, calls went to voicemail, and eventually, the line was disconnected. He was gone, erased from my world completely. That's when I realized I hadn't just lost my husband. I'd lost the only person who ever saw me without judgment. Weeks later, we crossed paths again at a mutual friend's dinner. I almost didn't go, but I wanted to seem composed. I dressed carefully, practiced smiles, planned neutral small talk in case he showed. Then he walked in, Alex, in a navy suit I'd never seen. He looked different, not bitter, not broken, just peaceful, whole. And beside him was someone new, elegant, confident, laughing softly at something he said. My stomach turned to ice. He spotted me instantly. Our eyes met across the room. For a moment, I thought I saw something, recognition, memory, but it faded fast. He gave a polite nod, the kind you give a stranger, then turned back to her. Every sound, every laugh after that felt staged. I sipped water just to hide the trembling in my hands. A friend whispered, "Sarah, are you okay?" I wasn't. When dinner ended, I slipped outside for air. The night was cool, the street quiet except for distant cars. I was about to leave when I heard his voice behind me. "Sarah, wait." He stood a few feet away, hands in his pockets, that same calm that once made me feel safe. "I thought you didn't want to talk," I said softly. He shrugged faintly. "I don't, but I think you do." I opened my mouth, but all the rehearsed apologies and what-ifs vanished. "You look good." I finally managed. "So do you," he said simply. Then, after a pause, "I'm not angry anymore." That hurt more than if he had been, because anger meant he still cared. This meant he didn't. "You were right," he said quietly. "I was too predictable, too steady. But I've learned something. Stability isn't boring. It's peace. And peace isn't something you fake." I wanted to apologize, to ask for another chance, but his eyes told me the story between us had already ended. Before turning to go, he said, "I hope you find what you were looking for, Sarah." Then, after a small laugh, calm, not cruel, he added, "Truly." I stood there long after he left, the wind sharp against my face, the city fading around me. That night, looking in the mirror, I didn't see the woman I used to be. I saw someone who traded lasting love for a fleeting thrill and lost everything real in the process. His quiet goodbye didn't silence me. It taught me something eternal. Sometimes, peace is what remains after the storm you created finally stops.